Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. I did a video on my putting last week, had loads of comments. It had the most comments any video of mine has had in sort of the last year, so a massive response from you guys, so thank you for interacting. You had some really good questions and I tried to answer a few of them, so yeah, so thank you for watching, thank you for interacting with that video, because that's kind of what it's all about, and that's what I wanted to happen with that video, so thank you. Had a great question, and I think this person's applied it to putting, but I think this can happen to loads of people. He said, I practice, and when I'm on the practice putting green, so like we've got a really nice putting green here at the University of Exeter, so he's saying when I'm practicing I hole everything, but then when I go out on the course, I'm as bad as I always am, and although I feel like I'm improving on the practice putting green, it never seems to translate. And I think this can certainly, when people are struggling with driver, oh, I'm hitting this slice on the course, go out on the practice ground, hit great shots, go back out on the course, and the slice reappears. So why is that happening? And I think it's usually your perception to your shots. And what I mean by that is, when you're practicing on the putting green, you don't really care if they go in or not. If you miss some on the putting green, you're not gonna slam your putter or get upset with yourself, because it doesn't really matter. And I'm not saying that you're missing loads on the putting green, because I think what actually happens as a result of not caring if they go in, you end up holing more. And what happens then as a consequence, when you go back out on the course, you get really outcome orientated. So you judge yourself purely on, I have to hole this putt, and then that puts pressure on you, and then you end up missing as a result. So what you have to do is you have to try and develop the mindset that you use on your practice and take it onto the course. I think it's Bob Rotella, he makes a great comment. He says you should practice as if you're in a tournament and play a tournament as if you're in practice. And he's talking about the same things that I'm talking about here. Really be nice and relaxed on the course as you would be in practice. You can actually be quite hard on yourself when you're practicing. And I see it so often, and yes, this person was talking about putting, and I think it happens with putting, but certainly with people's driving. And I see it sometimes because the range is such a wide area to hit it in, you have no pressure. And you might be working, like I did a video about releasing the hands last week, so you might be doing that on the practice ground, and you're not really worried if you hit a bad one, and you're not really worried about hitting it straight because you've got a massive area to aim at. And what happens is you start firing them straight down the range. You get back out on the course, you look at it, it's a lot tighter, and then you go, well, oh, actually I might hit a bad one now. So then whereas you were freely releasing, you then start to prod again. As a result, you start to hit bad shots. So again, really just try and consider that, and actually be more relaxed out on the course. Judge yourself on the effort you're putting in. So again, I'm using a driving example now. So if you're working on releasing the wrist, judge yourself on how well did you commit to releasing the wrist. And what might happen is the results might not be perfect to start with, but I can assure you, if you really focus on being positive and taking a swing thought that you've used in practice and you validated, you've shown that it works in practice, really take that to the course, judge yourself on how well you're committing to that swing thought, and I can guarantee you'll start to play better golf on the course, and your practice will start to match up with your performance on the course. So hope this video's helped. Are you somebody that struggles with this, a massive divide between your performance in practice and on the course and in competition? I'd love to hear what you've got to say, and I hope to catch you soon.